Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our GYST podcast, where we help you get your together.
That's what I tell Jake all the time. Jake Peterson. I'm like, were you and your wife related before you got married? He's like, yeah, but nobody needs to know that.
I talked to him today.
God, I love that fool.
I was like, when are you coming to the podcast? He was like, same day you invite me to one of your lunches.
Oh, yeah, because every week he reaches out to me. He's like,
he told me. He's like, every time I hit up Roy to go for lunch, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, we got podcast lunch. Kroll does the same thing. He's like, yo, what are you doing for lunch today? I'm like, oh, fuck, bro, we got podcast lunch.
Yeah.
I like that guy. He's funny.
Yeah.
I had lunch with him last week and he was saying the same thing. Grohl.
That's awesome. Grohl.
Yeah.
Hey, so this stays on all the time, and it trips me out now.
You can turn it off
Ooh, that's
so it doesn't do it.
I'm assuming there's a setting, but I haven't found it. Right? Son of a bitch. I was doing that too, because I used to do that with my other phone. But what I found out is that the screen is concaved enough that it pokes up over the shell.
Oh, that's lame.
So, whereas the other one used to just rest on its...
It's really weird. iPhone doesn't do that.
Yeah, that's a feature that Android took off Windows Phone.
What, the staying on?
It's called Glance.
Glance?
Ready, folks?
It's only called Glance if it actually works.
Okay, I'm not talking to you.
Love you.
So are we ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so moment of silence. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of your favorite podcast, the GYST podcast, also known as Get Your
Shit
Together!
Bro, you said that way too fast. I
That
was not
took
at
me
all
by
ready for that.
surprise, and I wasn't ready for the shit.
I was just excited.
I'm ready for this shit, but I wasn't ready for that shit.
Man, 81 episodes in. We ready to do this, fellas?
Are you ready to do this?
Let's go.
Shots on air!
Wait a second.
Already again?
Shots on air!
Shots on air, about a second.
All right, episode 81. Folks,
You would think those would get easier.
Yeah. Jerry never takes it easy.
That's what she said.
That's what I'm
That's what he
telling
said.
you.
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, the GYST podcast has been around for 81 episodes. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, because it's very important. Kyle, my friend, you have been here since day one. It was July of 2015.
Damn.
The famous walk, myself, you, and Christian, where I talked to you guys about this project and we came up with the name and to see if you guys even wanted to do this. 81 episodes in. The reason why I bring this up is because this is a fun topic and it's going to be very helpful for the audience at home. It's all how to stay hungry, how to stay motivated. And when we first came up with this idea, we never even dreamed of episode 81. I mean, we joked around about it, but to really think about 81 episodes of recording and editing and web development and marketing, it just seemed so far out there. But there was something in us that drove us. And now here we are. It went from a concept that one person had, expanded to 3 people total, and now with the addition of Aaron, it's expanded to 6 people. And it's become this movable force now to where I think strongly enough that you and I could leave this episode. You and I have been here since day one, and the other 4 would still want to continue it. They would say, how do we keep this going? Mm-hmm. And that to me is exciting because it talks about the hunger that all of us have to reach a certain point, to better ourselves. And I think, so one of the things that I really want to talk about is just 3 points that I've done to really stay hungry. And not just with this podcast, but other stuff as well. So recently on my other podcast that I do, Creating Motivation, creatingmotivation.com, I interviewed Ning Wong.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Interviewed my homeboy Ning Wong from ningwong.com. His business is Ning Wong Studios, a photographer, a wedding photographer down in the LA area. And what that episode was all about was what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated? And he went from having a full-time job that he loves to venturing out into this photography business. And I mean, he's in high demand. Even Canon has him as an instructor. So some things that he's doing are just phenomenal. And so he talks a lot about creating motivation for himself. But the three things that I always like to talk about when it comes to motivation is all visualization. For me, that's how I get it. And there's three things that I do that are free, but really just those days when you just don't feel like, those days when you're just not feeling good.
Yeah.
You're feeling down about life. You think...
You just want to give up. Say screw it.
Well, not quite to that
level. Oh, okay.
If you are at that level...
Generally speaking.
Please reach out to a suicide hotline near you. But there's three things that I do, and I strongly believe in visualization. So when I'm not fully feeling it, I do one of these three things that are all free. One, I go test drive a car.
What?
I go test drive a car.
I've never test drove a car I didn't buy.
And you feel so good. So I'm telling you, like, you're into Acuras.
Do you lie?
Go to an Acura dealership and just pick one that you love and just be like, I want to test drive this. They're like, sure, give us your license. They make a copy of it or whatever, and you're off.
Oh, actually, I have test drove a car I didn't buy.
Yeah.
And it was an Acura. You just reminded me. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And it's free. And I love doing it. And sometimes, this is the Indian in me, but there are certain times of the year where just for test driving a car, you can get like a $20 Amazon gift card or something like that. You know, so maybe that's just the
Wait,
Indian
so
in
do
me.
you lead the salesperson on?
No,
or are
I
you
just...
honest? You're like, hey, I just want to drive this car.
No, just be honest. I'm interested in test driving this car. And they're
That's
like,
cool.
okay, let's go.
All right.
So that's one. Two, I go to open houses.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And you always feel good when you go to an open house. And then three, I go to Nordstrom's and just try on the fancies. Or I go to Hugo Boss and try on the fancies. And the thing is, all these things are free, but they get you into a different mindset. Now, here's the crucial part. If you go in with the mindset of, I'm never going to be able to do these things on my own, that's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you.
Sure.
But if you go in and you just, man, I'm just telling you, you close your eyes and you tighten the grip on that steering wheel and you put your hand on the shifter and you just wonder what it's like with the windows rolled down, you're listening to good music and you're just driving and everyone's, it's just, there's a certain thing that it just excites you. It pumps you up. Same thing about if you go to a house, an open house, don't just be like, oh, okay, this is bedroom number one and this is bedroom number two. No. What is that for you?
Yeah.
I'm going in. I want a 4-bedroom house. This is going to be my podcast studio. This is where I'm going to put the foam and the whiteboard and the microphone and the YouTube video. Pointing at you, camera. This is where I do my you have to live that. God, you love cooking. So go into a house and be like, this is my kitchen. This is where I'm going to hang my pans. This is where I'm going to make my chili.
I bought my house for the appliances.
See?
This is the most expensive appliances I've ever paid for in my life.
but it's so important, just that visualization. So when you're feeling down and low, that's what I do to stay hungry, is I step outside of my life to a higher life. And I'm like, that's my next level to go to.
I really like that.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
It's because they're rum.
Visualization
I
is
need
an
a refill.
absolutely powerful tool. You got it? You want me to get you?
Oh, I don't know.
All right. You're
Anyone else want a refill?
Oh, shit.
One of us has to drive.
We're eating after this, right?
You guys might be. I got to go home and make dinner for the better half. That works.
Emily Nabua.
Emily Nabua. I know it is.
But that's because you guys aren't man enough.
Half.
And also the studio's at my house, so I don't have to
I was
walk.
like, you don't
This is
have to
damn right.
go anywhere.
Rohit's feeling himself right now. Oh, all right.
Okay.
It's me and you, Aaron. It's me and you.
Hey, we got a little...
Oh, yuck
okay.
city. All right.
There we go.
For those of you at home, that was a Seder Jerry break. If it was a Friday, I would challenge us all to polish off this bottle before we left the table.
Yeah.
But it's fucking Tuesday.
Last Friday, me and my brother. Actually, it was Bombay.
Ooh.
Gone.
Y'all like gin,
And
huh?
then, Bombay East. Oh my gosh.
What is Bombay East?
So it's like Bombay Sapphire,
Mm-hmm.
but East.
I'm writing that down.
Okay, Bombay East. They got a whole lot. There's like some Chinese licorice, and there's like some bark in it and some stuff. Gone. And then probably a smidge of the Sailor.
You guys didn't fuck around.
I did not fucking. I don't know what my brothers do. Anyways.
Wow. All right. Say that then.
Yeah.
So I need to take my Acura into the shop for 2 reasons. 1, it's time for an oil change. 2, I got that fucking deadly airbag in my damn car.
Oh, they had a recall?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just got the letter in it, I don't know, like a week or 2 ago, something like that. I'm going to test drive a brand new MDX.
Do it.
Because that motherfucker looks sexy, and I built one online. It was like $60,000. And I was like, Jesus. That's a little expensive. But you're absolutely right. I need to visualize myself in it in order to achieve it.
Yeah.
Because outside looking in, it's this car that I don't want to spend that much money on. I don't think it's worth it. Or maybe I can't afford it, right? Or if I decide to spring for it, am I overextending myself, right? But who's to say that I can't make more money?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Kyle Reed, yeah. Yes.
If it's something I really want, and I really want to spend $60,000 on a car, and whatever that looks like, right? Why not? I need to visualize it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go and drop off my car to get my airbag done and get my oil changed, I'm driving that MDX. I'm going to get the one with 2 captain seats in the back, all black with peanut butter leather and the double sunroofs, because that's what I built online, and that motherfucker was dope. So I'm going to go test drive the brand new MDX.
So this just occurred to me. Talking about visualizing. Because I was like, how do I stay driven? How do I stay motivated? How do I stay hungry for things that I want? Never even thought about that until tonight. But hearing all of this, one of the key things that factors into my life is visualizing where I want to be, what I want to do I'd be happy with it in a year.
Mm-hmm.
But, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, is visualizing where I want to be. And one of the key places that happens is going to Seattle Symphony. So...
we go to Seattle Symphony all the time.
You want to be the
I go often. You've gone with me like...
3, 4?
6 times?
Yeah.
3, 4 times? I go often. I'm going to be there twice next month and several times. Like, all the time. Because I'm going... And what's happening is when I go there... So for all of the listeners who never heard me before, I'm a composition major. I write a crap ton of music.
Real quick, in case you forgot.
I just thought of that too. Sam's going to be mad at us.
This is Aaron Ida. He's been a guest on several episodes. You heard him on last week's episode as well. Again, myself, Kyle Reed, and Rohit Rohili with you as well. Yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt because you were going there, but I wanted to make sure that the listeners knew because
I think I'm done.
we just got into
Now
this
that
and we
you've
totally
taken
forgot.
over.
And Sam,
Fuck, I'm sorry.
and Sam always gets so mad at us too.
I know.
Yes.
So Aaron Ida is a composition major, and he is huge into music. And we had him originally. The first episode he was on was our episode about finding your passion. So I think it's very appropriate that you're here with us again today on an episode all about how to stay hungry, how to maintain your passion.
Actually, yeah. I mean, because any of the arts, you always hear starving artist, and why would anybody just not make any money to do, make music, or write a book, or paint a painting, or whatever, what have you. But it's that passion that really drives for something, but it's also really easy to give up on because it's really hard. It's so demanding, so taxing. But one of the things that is key is going to the symphony because not only does it just feed the musician in me, but I study and I watch that conductor. I'm like, that is what I want to do. Like
So
I would
you
tell.
want to be in the other end.
Oh yeah, I would tell Ludwig Merlot, I'm going to take your job one day, to his face, He's leaving at the end of next year, so that would be fine. I think that would play out well.
Who's going to replace him?
I don't know.
Aaron Ida.
Not yet, but I have
Why
a
not?
lot to learn.
But are you
But
learning?
one of these days. So I want to go all over the world, do whatever I want to do, but I want to come back to the Seattle Symphony and retire here.
That'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that's long-term goal.
Long-term goal.
And how do you stay driven to reach that?
That, I go to those concerts and exactly like driving a car, going to open houses, I visualize. I don't just go for a concert.
Yeah, so to you,
because,
it's not just entertainment.
Oh no. This is, I would have the, woodwinds play that section like this. Just like you would go to a house and be like, oh, you know what? I think that I would put the couches here. It's the exact same thing, arranging things. So, I mean, that just occurred to me hearing you guys talking about, that's what I'm doing when I go to a concert. I'm not just there listening to great music, but I am lusting after that position.
Lusting.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty powerful. I like
Okay,
that.
visceral, right?
Yeah.
You know
very,
exactly what I'm talking
very.
about.
I know
when say
exactly
that.
what the fuck you're talking about right now, damn it. That's good
Yes.
shit. That's good shit. I got a couple of things. One of the things, I think I wrote a lot of stuff down. I mean, how do you stay hungry, driven, motivated? When we started, how do we decide we want to keep things going? Mm-hmm. One of the things that I think about is my good friend Rob Ross.
That's the painter.
No, that would be Bob Ross. I guess Bob Ross is Rob Ross. I never really thought about that. He is probably one of the hardest working individuals I know. And he does a lot to remind himself why he's doing it. And I wrote that down. I think that's something that's very important. Remind yourself what you're doing this for. I wrote 3 things down.
Okay.
Remind yourself what you're doing it for, what it's for. Remember lesser times.
Oh.
When you had less, now you have more, right?
To gain like a sense of appreciation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Appreciation and also a reminder that you can achieve more.
I like that.
Yeah.
So at one point you had less than you have today.
Yeah.
You were able to achieve more. So you can continue to achieve more. Because you didn't give up then, so why give up now? Right?
Yeah.
And the last thing, which is something simple, but a lot of people don't do, is review your goals.
Right.
First, set goals, first of all. Second of all, review them. So this could be in work, in professional life, in personal life, in a relationship. How do you maintain your relationships, whether they be friendships or intimate relationships? Rohit, I would consider you a really close friend of mine. However, we don't hang out a lot outside this podcast.
Yeah.
Never have. I don't know why. I think it's, when I think about it, I'm kind of like, why the fuck don't I hang out with Rohit very often outside the podcast?
I think outside the podcast, only 2 times. One was Sam's going away party, and the other was the Christmas party. I think that's it. And I've known you for like 10 years.
Christmas party?
The Christmas party I had?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've invited me to other Christmas parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why. But I think you need to think about those things. And don't take those types of things for granted. Especially in a relationship. Remind yourself what it was that you did the first couple of months that you hung out with that gal or guy. Continue to do those things.
Yeah.
Right? Think about how you would feel if you lost that thing, whether it's a gal or a guy or a brand new car or a nice house. Visualize yourself without it. How does that feel? Then what are you willing to do to get it back?
Right.
Instead of justifying a scenario that I don't have a brand new 4-bedroom house, maybe I don't need it or I don't deserve it. Think about what you have today. And now imagine if it was ripped out from underneath you. What are you going to do to get it back? Right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Again, a car, a house, a husband or a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a mother or a father, a brother or a sister. Right?
Yeah.
That's motivation.
Yeah.
that has no boundaries. It's truly boundless, right? What you would do to get something back that you had at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a few of those things down.
Yeah.
For me, part of that is relationship. How do I stay hungry and motivated to continue to grow and build on my relationship with Emily? I joke with my boy Rob that I will let him have the crown of world's best husband until I get married. And I really mean that.
Yeah.
I really fucking mean that.
Dude, you're going to make it an awesome husband.
I hope so. And an even better father, I would imagine. I would hope.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Mm-hmm.
I have aspirations to do so. So it's more than a hope. So let me go ahead and nix that word out there. And I joke with him, but I'm dead serious, right? So that's one thing. I want to continue to build on my relationship day in and day out. I know that I have faults, and I continue to work on them. I have to recognize them before I can work on them, right? So part of it is getting past denial and justification and accepting them so I can work on them and continue to grow them. Another thing outside that, because I can go down a rabbit hole on that, is Boston. For those of you who know, I enjoy running.
Are you going to say what I think you're going to
The
say?
Boston Marathon is the holy grail for runners.
Yeah.
That's a goal I've had in the back of my mind. It's a goal that I've said, I don't think I can do that. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Why? How can I do that? There's no way I can do that. That's a bucket list item for me.
Yeah.
So now, this is not me explaining to you how I stay motivated. This is me telling you that I'm reminding myself that I need to stay motivated.
Yeah.
If I want to achieve this goal.
Yeah.
The goal time to qualify for Boston for a marathon for someone of my age is less than 3 hours.
You have to qualify for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you don't
wow.
just get to go do it. It's a competitive marathon. You have to qualify.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you have to go to the Boston. You have to go to the Boston Athletic Association, and it has times listed by age group. So for me, it's about 3 hours. I've never run a marathon less than 4 hours. I'm not very fast.
So you have some training.
But I have some training to do, but I'll do this. I don't know how I'm going to stay motivated. I think because it's the holy grail for a runner, for a jogger, for a casual runner, for a competitive runner. No matter who you are, what you do, that is it. You have arrived. If you've gone to the Boston Marathon, even the New York Marathon or Chicago Marathon, those are huge as well. You didn't just show up, you arrived.
Yeah.
That's something that I need to remind myself to stay hungry for and stay motivated for.
Man, Kyle, oh man, have you overloaded me with some stuff? So I took notes. Like, this is why I love this podcast. I took notes
Yeah.
based on what you said.
Good shit. I took notes from you too, by the way.
There are 4 things I want to talk about real quick.
All
So
right.
one, we talk about like staying motivated, right? One of my all-time mentors, Jim Rohn, he said, walk away from 97% of the crowd. Don't use their excuses. Take charge of your life. And that just is so perfect. Aaron, you came on board. Amit, he came on board because this is a positive environment for both of you guys. Mm-hmm. And you realize that there's value here. And just the fact that you guys are here has already set you guys apart from everyone else. 1. 2, a long time ago, I'm a strong believer in visualization. I went out and bought a book called Luxury Home Floor Plans.
Wow.
So earlier when I talked about like going to like open houses,
Yeah.
this is all about like pictures and floor plans. I do this all the time where I will take this house and I'll walk through it and I'm like, okay, where's my couch going to go? Where's my bed going to go? Which way is it going to face? And I walk through that place
That's
like
cool.
it's real.
Wow.
Yeah.
2, 3, my mom, when she passed, I realized she had never seen me do my thing up on stage, doing a seminar, doing a podcast. She'd never seen that. So if you remember, I invited my dad to a podcast.
Yeah.
That's why. I invite my dad now to seminars because I want to make sure that he knows that I'm doing these things. And so he can be proud of like his son and be like, wow, like he's impacting lives.
You don't want to miss out on opportunity.
Yeah. And 4, on air, I'm saying this, and I'm not blaming it on the alcohol. Sorry, that song came on air the other day. Kyle Reed, you have 1 year. By the end of next year, I will pay for your flight to Boston.
Damn.
End of next summer?
This is like a heart-to-heart.
So the way it works is you have to qualify the year before.
Okay, so you've got till 2019. I will give you till 2019. I personally will purchase your flight to Boston. That's how much I want to see you do it.
It means a lot to me, man. It really does.
Are we going to go and watch? We should probably go and watch. That'd be legit.
Appreciate you, man.
Love it, bro.
Love you too, brother. Thank you.
Plus, I might have to come back from Spain for that.
You could be in Spain?
Hopefully.
Don't play. You trying to move there?
That's where I have to finish my degree.
Fuck. We better all go to Spain then.
Yeah. And
after I run this.
Yeah. After that.
I gotta start running.
3 hours from Ibiza. So we could go drop all kinds of E and party for 3 days.
Dude, you should have called me 10 years ago.
I know, me too.
I totally would have been in for that.
No, I'm just going to stay home, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to watch Netflix. I think there's another episode of Ballers on.
Ooh. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is on.
Oh, God. I used to keep up. I can't lie. I used to keep up. Man, I enjoy this episode.
Yeah, this was
I enjoyed it.
This was good.
I enjoyed it. Rohit, your 3 takeaways. The visualization, I think, is huge.
Yeah.
And I think that test driving a new car, going to open house are things that... And going to... I just wrote a high-end store. Right. No one under 50 goes to Hugo Boss anymore. So I'll just put that out there.
We're going to get sued by Hugo.
Sorry, Hugo. But go to a high-end store. Try on something you can't afford today.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that you will afford one day. Visualize that day. Visualize what it'll take to get there. I'm going into the 2-minute takeaway right now.
Okay,
sorry.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. This is Kyle's 2-minute takeaway.
Yeah. So I'm going to the 2-minute takeaway. I'm kind of... It's a smooth segue right now.
We should do that on the YouTube channel.
Do what?
Do like a splash screen to Kyle's 2-minute takeaway.
Splash screen, 2-minute takeaway coming up. So those 3 things I think are huge. They're actionable items or simple items. I wrote down visualizations in all caps and I circled it because I think that's very, very important. I didn't really think about it until Rohit mentioned it. So test drive a new car. Yeah. I'm going to do it. I'm going to test drive that new MDX. I might test drive a small little sporty car as well because I need to get Emily a new car soon. And then a few things that I wrote down that I think are good, whether you believe it or not, they work, so use them, damn it. Remember lesser times.
Yeah, I do like that.
When you had less. Not only to appreciate what you have today, but to also not be complacent with it. Contentment is okay. And Rohit and I agree to disagree on the difference between complacency and contentment. But it reminds you that you can achieve greater things. It wasn't always this way. You had less. Now you have plenty. How can you get more? Remind yourself what you're doing it for. Whether it's for your family, your children, your kids, parents, grandparents, nieces, nephews, sisters, brothers, whatever it is. Remind yourself why you're here.
Yeah.
And then lastly, review your goals. First, create them, and then review them. How can you get there? How can you improve? Every single day, if you're not doing something that adds value to your life or someone's life that you love, what are you doing? What are you really doing? Whether it's music, whether it's running, whether it's just to have a greater purpose on the planet or in someone's life. Every day, how do you stay hungry? Ask yourself that question. How do I stay motivated? If you don't know, think about it. Put a plan in place. Take a look at some of the guidelines we put in front of you. I absolutely think that these will help. If you're not doing them, give it a shot. You have nothing to lose. If you don't know what makes you hungry and makes you motivated today, how will you be any less off if you attempt these things? You won't be. You'll likely be better off. So with that being said, thanks again for listening, folks. We may be a little bit inebriated.
Oh, man. This is
a little under the influence.
But it's deep.
But I think it was good. I think it was good shit. I think it was good shit.
We should drink more
Aaron,
often.
I've never been to a symphony. I would love to go with you, but I would rather go and watch you. So you let me know, damn it.
One of these days.
You let me know, damn it. Days. So, listeners, check us out, gystpodcast.com. Get your shit together. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest.
Yes.
Tune again next week for another fantastic episode of your favorite podcast, the GYST Podcast. Get your shit together. And we're out.
Can I just say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
I think it's important. This is our 81st episode, ladies and gentlemen.
It's huge.
And all three of us have an entire page full of notes.
Yeah.
Like,
and I've got multiple things circled right here.
Right?
I just have a doodle of, I think, a bridge. But
I don't know if it's like, a bridge or what.
There's just so much value in this. Like, for those of you who just listen because you know the six of us involved, myself, Kyle, Aaron, Gummel, Amit, Sam. If you know one of us and you just listen to the podcast because of that, that's fine. But there is real gold in here. All three of us have an entire page full of notes.
Yeah.
That's powerful. I think this is the first time I've seen this where every speaker has just like real notes.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
This is phenomenal.
That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely good stuff.
Thank you to the audience. Like, if they weren't listening, we wouldn't still be doing this.
You're damn right. Thanks for listening, because we are gleaning fantastic bits of information from this ourselves as we discuss it with you. So I hope you're getting something, because you can't learn if you don't listen. And as much as we enjoy talking on this podcast, if I'm not listening to Rohit, Aaron, or Kamal, or Sam, or Amit, I'm never going to learn anything. Right?
Yeah. And audience, 2019 Boston Marathon.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there, damn it.
I'll be there too. I have to be there. That's where my school is, Not where I have to go to finish my degree, but that's where my school is.
Fucking awesome. That was a good episode. That was a great topic. Whoever picked that was fucking genius. I'm just kidding. No, but I really did enjoy it. And I think having a few drinks obviously helped us loosen up a little bit, because I felt myself rambling.
It helped me loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
And there's part of it, I wanted to dive in deeper. Yeah. But if you take a look at the future episodes on there, visualization is one of them.
Oh, let's do that.
And so I didn't want to dive too deeply into
and take
visualization.
Away from,
yeah. But honestly, take a look at this. It just, and I'm telling you, I go test drive that CX-5 all the time.
So
the SUV.
Yeah. I used to do a thing kind of like this. I would go to the manufacturers or whatever, the big realty agents that would sell this house.
Oh yeah.
And I would order CDs with walkthroughs of the home. And it was
wow, this
before
house is fucking huge.
Before what do they call them? The 3D tours.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that thing. You just click on the next, and it would go here's the hallway, here's the room to the left and to the right. I used to kind of do that same thing.
First floor.
It's phenomenal.
Hold on. First floor, 2,700 square feet. Lower level, 3,100 square feet. Your fucking basement is bigger than your house? What in the fuck? Billiard room.
Right?
Yes.
That's
so
fucking awesome.
And this is just me being 100. This house is I mean, I'm so fortunate on a single income that I've got this 4-bedroom house, right?
Yeah.
Very, very fortunate. And when people come here for the first time, they always talk about like, oh, what? Like, you know, you've accomplished a lot or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this is boasting about myself, but I don't see the value in this because that is my reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure.
And so when people talk about this, I'm like, man, this is like my
You're like, it's
single bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
It's like how people say don't sell yourself short. You've accomplished a lot, right? Mm-hmm. But when your aspirations and goals are bigger than what you've accomplished, sometimes you overlook your current accomplishments. It's weird, right? And it sounds silly to say because this is a beautiful brand new home. You bought it pretty much. Was it brand new?
I was first owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's fucking huge, first of all. So to downplay your accomplishment would be, I would say, wrong. But at the same time, to accept it as your only accomplishment is also not what you want.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's what I mean by content, right? Content means you're happy with where you're at, but you still have aspirations. Complacent means you're justifying where you're at because you have no aspirations. That's my interpretation of the two, anyway. So I would say you are content because you appreciate what you've been able to achieve, but at the same time, when everyone else is still like, wow, that's awesome, you did so much, you're kind of like, yeah, it's okay, because I want this.
Yeah.
I want 6,000 square feet with a billiard room and a 5-car garage and a CX-5. 3 CX-5s. Red, green, and black. I don't know, whatever, right? Yeah. In that motherfucking garage. That's huge.
Like, Aaron, when you and I go to the symphony, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, and I think this is really good, and I want to keep recording this because the podcast, not the podcast,
still recording.
not the podcast, but I think this is added value for the YouTube stuff.
Yeah,
sure.
Right? So when you and I go to the symphony, and I've talked to you about this before, what I'm trying to do is gain an appreciation by, I'll close my eyes and I'll hear a certain sound, and then I'll open my eyes and I'm like, oh, that's where that sound is coming from.
Right,
It's that instrument that's creating that sound, and now I've gained an appreciation for that. So it's different for me. When you go, what do you appreciate in terms of visualization?
Visualization is where that conductor is, what he's doing, the music that he's making. Because, so the pianist plays the piano, violinist plays the violin, the conductor plays orchestra. So how the different sections come in, how the whole thing sounds, how it's all shaped together, how it all flows, is a conductor. And he's the one making the whole music. And the musicians, I mean, so I played in an orchestra. Sometimes you can just not like the director or the conductor at all and what he's doing with the piece of music, but you play it how he wants it to be played because you're the musician, right? So the instrument could be like, oh, I don't like how he plays, but that, So when I go, it's listening to and it's really taking in because more often than not, I know the piece. And so it's listening to how that conductor plays it. And be like, oh, I think I would do it a little bit different. Or be like, oh, I love how he took that on. Or, whatever, but mostly I just want to be right there. And I study how they conduct and their style of conducting, and how they approach a specific piece. But
because as you're watching it while they're conducting, that's the least bit of what they've already done, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you understand that.
Yeah.
And you see that. So that's what you look for.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're not just up there doing this.
No. No. So, I could take you on a music appreciation half-hour course. And you would be able to tell the difference between, 3 or 4 different recordings of the same piece. And know how it's different and how a conductor can influence that. How a specific musician can influence it.
I'm going to take you up on that offer.
Done. I mean, absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I love.
And you know what's interesting is like I love going to the symphony with Aaron because it's me stepping into his world.
Mm.
You know, kind of probably how someone feels like attending a seminar, because that's my world.
Yeah.
And I have so many questions for Aaron, right? Because to me, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, okay, the conductor's just going like this, and
Yeah.
and
Bugs
oh,
Bunny.
where do I hear the music?
Your
It's coming from there.
your
I'm gonna
turn.
point to them now.
Yeah.
You know, to me, it was that, and it wasn't until I talked to him, and you see him light up and glow and just boast about like good conductors versus bad conductors, and at the end of the show, it's always funny because we'll ask each other like, oh, what did you think about that? And he'll ask me, and my answers are like surface level. Oh, you know, I mean, I heard this one instrument, but I wasn't sure where it was coming from or whatever. Or, you know, I fell asleep at this point or whatever. And he's like, oh, the conductor like totally messed up on the second stanza or what. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even understand his language. I'm just nodding my head and saying yes. But it's so fascinating to step into that world of somebody else's world. Kind of like how if I went to you and said, okay, Kyle, teach me about, you know, I saw a marathon and I didn't understand this point. Mm-hmm. Or I saw someone skiing and I didn't understand this. And for you, it might be like basic knowledge. But for someone who doesn't know that world, it's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a foreign language.
Yeah. I would love for just the two of you alone, just you two, to go to a symphony. The experience that you have is just what this guy can do to enhance that experience for you. It'll just give you such a whole new appreciation.
So
Yeah, I've never been.
I almost felt bad for you, but then I knew that you appreciate it when we went to the Beethoven concert, which I'm not certain if that was the first one that we'd gone to.
It was.
Okay, where we sat up in the third tier.
Yeah.
Some dude was sitting right next to us. So it was me, Rohit, and some guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Me and this guy were leaned around Rohit, having this intense music conversation.
And
it was
Homeboy
great.
knew his stuff.
And Rohit just sitting there like,
And I'm just on this like high classical level of conversation.
and Rohit's like, okay, guys.
100%.
But then
I'm gonna
I
take a
let
nap
it go
now.
because I was like, okay, now he's gonna like this. So.
That's awesome. Where was that at? In Seattle?
Yeah,
Seattle,
Benny
Symphony?
Hall.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's freaking awesome.
I mean, shit. So there's a really good one. I think it's October 22nd, 20th or 22nd. But I'm gonna be there.
October 20th. I don't think I have anything going on. It's my buddy Tone's birthday. He'll be in Hawaii though, and I'm not gonna be able to make it because it's outside my current budget.
I think we can get in $37 or $22.
Well, that's not too bad. That's inside my budget.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right inside my budget too.
You
Where's my
also have
calendar?
to budget gelato.
October 3rd.
Gelato.
Oh, gelato.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you had gelato?
I have.
Okay, good.
Not in Seattle. Where do you guys go?
Gelatiamo. It's actually kitty corner from Benaroya.
Oh, nice.
Calendar. I need a calendar.
Calendar. Open. Now. Please.
Yeah, I'll let you know because I know there's going to be a fantastic, phenomenal. I think it's so. It might be the 19th or.
So
I'll
what
let you
was
know.
Thinking of. I was thinking for some reason because Warren. Do you guys know what Warren Miller is at all?
I know the name Warren Miller.
Yeah, he's a famous ski movie producer. He's been doing it for like 50 years. He's still alive.
Is he actually in the movies that he produces?
Not anymore.
Okay.
He's like 70 something.
Okay. Was he a climber too?
Not really.
Just
no.
mostly ski. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know the name, but I don't know why.
Yeah, so he pioneered essentially the ski movies, right? He sold his name brand to another company, and Johnny Mosley does most of the narrating now. It's not really much done by Warren Miller, but every year they have Warren Miller ski movie. Every year they do a new movie, and they have a premiere, and it's always done in a theater. In Seattle, they do it at
kind of the one they do at McCaw.
McCaw Hall.
Okay,
Yes,
so that's
yep.
how I know him. Yeah.
Yep.
I've been to him.
It's fucking. I think it's awesome, and I love watching them. So I would probably equate the way that you watch a symphony is the way I watch a ski movie. Other people are just watching like, oh, he's just skiing down that big mountain. I'm like, no, you see the line that he took. Like,
you're like, I
the way
can
he
feel
skied down that
rush.
spine right there.
Yeah.
Like, this is what happens, and when you do this is this. And people are like, it's just a big mountain, right? And it may be that to some people, but to me, it's not.
Huh.
So when I watch a Warren Miller ski movie, I'm probably into it as much as you're.
I
into the
get
symphony.
that. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Good. Like when I was interviewing Ning for the Creating Motivation podcast, I brought up magic, right? Like I've
Like
used
the card game?
on air. No, just like discovering your own magic, you know, and you don't really see your own magic.
Yeah.
And I talked to him about that
That's
because
probably
it was
true.
really interesting because one of the things that we talked about was in this age of like Instagram and stuff like that, right? Like I've done professional shoots where I'll take a single photo and on that single photo I spend like an hour or two just editing it. And then I show it to someone and they're like, "Oh wow, that's really neat, Kyle. What Snapchat filter did you use?" And I talked to him about like what separates what you do as a professional. Like if somebody doesn't know, like, you know, you're getting married and your wedding photographer is $4,000 or $5,000 or whatever the case may be. What am I actually paying for? Mm-hmm. And it was interesting to hear his take on it. And I think it's similar to what you guys are talking about. Like where I go to the symphony with you, Aaron, and I just hear the music. Mm-hmm. For me, attending the symphony is auditory. For you, it's visual.
Yeah.
A complete immersion, really.
Yes. Yeah. I've wept openly in that place. Not even kidding.
Not gonna lie, I've shed a couple tears in a Warren Miller flick. That's really probably weird to say, but
I've shed some tears watching a Nicholas Sparks film.
Yeah, but that's Nicholas.
I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say.
It's just to play off something Savant said to me.
you're a jerk. He is pretty emotional. He's got emotional stuff.
Contrived and oversold.
Ooh.
And
Who, Sparks?
yeah.
Yeah, because she
If
told
you're
me
gonna
that
say-
she's gonna go see it, and
Oh.
and I've seen it, so she's like, "What was it like?" I was like, "I fell asleep." She's like, "Yeah, but you're more of like you'd rather go see a Nicholas Sparks film," and I was like, "Okay, I can't lie. You got me there. You got me.
Roasted.
That's funny.
We
I'm
gotta
gonna
get you
get
out of
moving,
here so you can
fellas.
make some chili."
I gotta go make chili. It's 8:20.
You make chili.
Okay. Thanks for watching
Oh
us,
yeah.
folks.
YouTube.
Signing off.
Still there.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for tuning in to our GYST podcast. We hope you learned how to get your together.